Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Now, last year, we met a young man whose name was Evans Cole, and he was involved in a ghastly motor accident, which left him with a pelvic fracture and in need of a urethral stricture. Now, he has undergone surgery in Nigeria, but required further attention and medical care from overseas. Well, News Central, we have been keeping up with him, and today we have an update to the story. But first, let's get into this News Central exclusive on the Evans Cole story.
My name is Cole Evans Okereke. I graduated from University of Lagos. I studied physiology. I'm working as a gym, as a fitness instructor. That's what I do for a living. It happened on the 11th of March 2018. At the Lekki Toll, on my way to work one Sunday morning. I avoided the passenger bus that was going to take me to my place of work, whereby an SUV that was coming back from probably one of these nightclubs that was drunk was on a one-way, ram into the passenger bus which I was in, and the bus somersaulted. And I happened to be sitting at the conductor's side. And normally all these conductors' buses, these passenger buses, most of them in Lagos here, they really don't lock their doors. So I fell off. Immediately the car rammed into our car. And when the car somersaulted, it was now on me, now landed on. And when it fell on me, I was on an astride position. Astride position meaning that I was like this, not facing downward or facing upward. I was on my side. So the passenger bus fell on me and it affected my pelvic bone. It cracked my pelvic bone, and also my two legs in between had crushed my urinary tract. Okay, when the accident happened, the only flash I could remember was people snapping me with their phones. That was the flash I could remember I got then, while I was shouting for help, and the next minute I heard that word, this guy is still alive, this guy is still alive. And the next thing I got blanked out was 3 days later. I found myself in the hospital and the doctor was narrating to me what happened. The doctor told me the possibilities of the whole thing, that I have a cracked pelvic bone. It would take about 8 months for me to walk again. And in his word, once you injure your urinary tract, it doesn't forgive. A urinary tract is a very tiny pipe that crosses across from your bladder to your penis for you to get rid of urine. They actually said that for them to operate on me, they did a minimum of 3 months to let the scar fully evolve, because if you want to operate on it now, if the scar not fully grown, finish operating on it now, it still keeps on growing after the operation. So they need the scar to fully grow to see the size of the scar, cut off that scar before they operate on it. So that suprapubic cystotomy is just like a bypass while they wait.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Now, Evans Cole joins us in the studio. He's going to share the rest of his story with us. And I asked a question just as I saw some of the visuals from the accident, and I'll start with that. And I want to know what happened to the driver, and I'm really struggling to believe what you told me off air. So the driver who was involved in this accident, who was a drunk driver who led to the loss of 2 lives, where is he now?
He's traveled out of the country because after the whole accident, we tried to verify who the driver is from his plate number. And when we got to the FRSCN to get the plate number and get the details of the car, we figured out that the car was not even registered. They said the car is offline, but it's obvious that the they're trying to cover their track because the whole fault was from the drunk driver.
So someone who's responsible for 2 deaths, an accident that injured you, and many others, has just simply been able to walk away from it all.
Exactly, that's how you just walk away. And from some other source I had, the guy traveled out. He also experienced some injury as well, so he just traveled out of the country.
Did he ever try to reach out to you or to anyone else?
Never, I didn't. He didn't.
Nothing.
Even all the things I tried to do to get him his attention, prove abortive,
So let's leave him aside. He will likely have his own demons to deal with, for the rest of his life. Yes. So now you are here almost about a year later. In that report was saying the doctors told you it would take 8 months for you to walk again. How did it feel? What was the process? Basically starting to learn to walk again, something you've learned as a child, and it's so ingrained in you that you don't think about it, but now you have to put your body and your mind through that all over again.
Well, it's a really very tough time going through those processes again and everything. And one thing I'll say again is that people have different threshold. You understand? When they told me that period of time, that this period of time I'm going to work again and all, it wasn't easy. It was depressing. It was just pain taxing. But I know the only thing I had then was that my family were always there to encourage me, because I lost virtually everybody, my friends, my colleague, everybody. They're just only checking on you for that first few weeks. When they see that, man, nothing is getting better, they just let you go and all. I lost everybody. Just my family that was there encouraging me. There was no day I don't attempt suicide, because I felt like, what am I living for? Those people that died in this accident, am I better off than them? But no. They are dead and I'm here suffering what I know nothing about. So why did God just leave me alive? God just taking my life and me going through this terrible agony. It was really, really tragic.
So with your family, and then of course with, as you said, how many times did you attempt suicide?
Twice.
Twice.
And I'm surprised why I didn't die. Because the first one I drank Savlon and I found myself in the hospital. The other time I tried hanging myself on the fan. And I don't just know how I survived it. Probably God still have some other things for me in this life. That's why He left me alive, because I've seen series of cases where people drink some stuff and they don't survive it, and I'm wondering
why I drank 2 attempts.
Yeah, 2 attempts, exactly.
Yeah.
So after then, I said I was not going to take my life again, because maybe God had something better for me to still be alive for.
So what was the process of, aside from physically and literally getting back on your feet, sort of getting back into the game? You said you were working as a personal trainer, as a physical trainer at the point in time. So have you been able to go back to that? What are you doing now?
Okay, I've not been able to go back fully now, because my doctor actually said that I have to go from simple to complex, go little by little, because of the injuries I had during the accident.
So you don't go and re-injure or restrain. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm just doing some body weight exercise now, just do some light exercise and make sure I do my workouts daily, so I don't get to injure myself more than that. So I'm just going little by little, because I just had the surgery not just last year. So I'm just going bit by bit to get myself fit and better again. Have
the friends that you say you lost, the people who sort of, and it was it to say that they completely walked away once the accident happened, or they were around for some time, then they less phone calls, less visits, less checking up on you? Have any of your friends sort of come back and tried to get themselves back into your life, or even apologize for not being around?
The ones that left instantly after the accident.
Instantly?
Yeah.
So like as soon as they heard you had an accident, you stopped hearing from them?
Stopped hearing from them.
And these were people you heard from regularly?
Those were really the people I thought would never leave.
Wow.
Most especially my fiancée that was with then. She was among the people. Then the people that stayed back were the people I literally never expected to stay back with me and all those stuff. So those are the people that stayed back throughout that process. Then now that I'm better and I'm doing well now, like more than I was before now, and everybody wants to come back again. Most especially the same girlfriend that left me.
The fiancée from last year that walked out wants to come back. She
was confused, she was scared, and she doesn't know what the future holds, stuff like that.
And those are valid feelings at that point in time. But again, I'm probably very sure in how she handled it, lack of communication with you to that. I'm going to be very nosy and personal. What have you told her? Are you thinking about it, or have you just told her an outright no or yes? Oh. You're still thinking about it?
No, I'm not still thinking about it. I just told her that I've forgiven her, because sometimes lions come in sheep clothing. You really don't know someone to an extent. So but I felt I know her too well, but not knowing that I don't know her. Adversity just came up and she left. So I just told her that she owes me no apology. But if she thinks she owes me an apology, I've forgiven you from the heart of my heart. So just go. So she's trying to just still push, but no, I don't think I will want her back.
So what's next for you now? So do you have any more surgeries that you have to go through? So all of it now is rehabilitation.
Everything.
So what is the process? The rehabilitation would have been in stages as the injuries healed. So take us through rehabilitation from the early days to now, the sort of maybe physical rehabilitation you go through.
Okay, from when I went back to the UK, rehabilitation started from my physio having to teach me how to walk again, how to make my stride so it doesn't affect the pelvic. And after then again, the surgery. After the surgery, I had to start seeing another physio again. And also, I started seeing a psychiatrist as well, just to pull my mind through the whole accident.
Yeah, because of the pain, and everything.
And all those stuff. So, because at the point, I had having phobia entering public transport, more especially buses. So he was the one that talking me through how to make sure the whole trauma just get off my head, because sometimes if I'm just in the public, but I just get unnecessarily scared and all, that accident's going to happen again. So the process has been really welcoming and all, and I've been doing great. I'm doing great.
Do you know of any of the other passengers from the accident that that survived? Or is there any communication between any of you?
No.
Was there any communication in the early days? It may be now, of course, it might have fizzled out, but...
Yeah, there was a communication in the early days. There's one of those guys there that lost his limbs. Yeah. What?
All four, or?
No, just one of his limbs.
Okay, one of his legs amputated.
Yeah,
okay. So what's next? What does the future hold for you? You've gone through this, and I have to come back to the fact that you said you tried to commit suicide twice, and it did not happen. And as you said, you feel that God probably has a plan for you, a reason why you're still here. What do you think that reason is? What is the future holding?
I know something great. I'm going to become something great. It's like, because for me to have attempted committing suicide, taking my life twice, and God said, no, my boy, you're not going nowhere. There's something great He still wants me to establish here, and I'll make sure I do that. So I'll be going back to the UK after this program and get my life sorted out there. And I don't think I'm coming back to this place again, because I've given my best here, and some things are not just happening here. Probably I need to leave my comfort zone and go
and strike out a bit more. Yeah.
Somewhere else.
So now let's talk a bit about drunk driving accidents. There are a number of accidents, and road traffic accidents take millions of lives or hundreds of thousands of lives every year. And you have situations here. And when you hear that the person involved in this particular one was able to get out, he did not face vehicular homicide charges, he did not face drunk driving charges, and found a way out of it, it also makes you worry for the system. So we do see the messages of don't drink and drive, have a designated driver when you go out. What do you think we're missing in terms of really getting people to understand how dangerous it is when they have been drinking to get onto the road?
Okay, I think this system is not well managed enough to be able to comb out all this excessive drinking and driving stuff in this country, because in my last 1 year, 6 months in the UK, I noticed a whole lot of stuff there about their driving and all.
Yeah, signs everywhere, breathalyzers with the police. Exactly,
but here in Nigeria, I don't think they don't have those kind of signs, and most especially again the road safety officials and other officials, they don't really care about you drinking or driving. You understand? They do a job certainly that not into what they are meant to be checking and all, because I cannot be drinking and I want to drive, and it's maybe a police officer stopped me and I smell drink, I'll say something about that. They don't stop, pull me over and ask me why are you doing this. But they just feel like when you just give them some tips, you just go.
Or even if you give them the alcohol in your car,
they will take it. Yeah. So it's really, really bad that this menace is getting out of hand. They're making some people pay for what they know nothing about, causing harms to other people's life. Because I was in that position for how long. I know what that trauma puts into my head and all. But I just thank God with the grace and the courage to push on, and here I am now. But drinking and driving in this country is really, really very bad, and it's the thing that we need to come and stop in this country.
All right, Evans Cole, thank you so much. Evans Cole Okereke.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. As you said, you're leaving. We do hope you have everything your heart desires, and we wish you the very best in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for showing up.